I think many people, and I'm guilty as well, use God like Aladdin, like the genie from Aladdin.
Like a vending
I will
machine.
call on you when I need you.
Like a vending machine.
Yeah, you come when I need you, and you fix everything, and then I will send you away, and I will go back.
Exactly.
Yeah, or put some prayers in, and you push the button, and then there should be the answer I want come out.
Yeah, because that's what the other thing you hear is people like, well, I prayed for this and it didn't happen the way I prayed for it, so prayer doesn't work. I'm like, well, it's not a wish list.
But it is hard to change from give me this to let me accept what will happen.
Yeah.
Help me to be strong and get through whatever is going to be.
Right.
That's a big switch.
It is.
And that's hard to do.
And it's really easy, like when things are going well, to say it, and then when if I say it like in a talk or whatever, if I say it out somewhere, and then I go through something, I'm like, you just talked about this to that group. Does it apply to you? No. No. I need to be immune from all this stuff.
Right.
No,
well,
that's not how it works.
This perfectly fits when you're talking about the C word, okay, COVID.
Yes.
And so we buy camp in 2019.
Yes.
And a year later, had a great summer. A year later, the C word hits.
Yes.
And so people ask us, well, how did that go? And we're like, well, that was not expected. We're like, oh, what can happen? There's not gonna, there wouldn't be a pandemic. We wouldn't close camp down. Well, here we are, a year later. And we did have a couple small groups that came because they were okay with coming.
Yeah.
But that was a big leap of faith.
Yes. Yeah.
Where you have to put your money where your mouth is.
Right. Right.
So you're like, okay. And so people say that, and I say, I actually think that was a really good experience for our family.
Yeah.
And in our team to be like, hey, you have to walk the walk.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we're saying we have faith that God will take care of us, but we don't want to suffer at all by having no income for basically for a year.
Right.
Well, you can get through it. So we're like, okay, God, you got to help us out. How are we going to get through this?
But was there a moment where you look, what are you doing, God? What is this? This?
Yeah.
No. You called us to this, and then this happens. Right. Really?
I think he did it because I think that he might have, and not anything against the previous owners at all, but I think that because he saw our family and said, okay, you can handle this one.
Yes.
And that might not have been something that he would have been able to put on the owner.
Yeah.
Or say someone else who had bought it.
Yeah.
Well, and from my view, I even think that God isn't the one who creates these things, like pandemics, who knows who created this one, right? Who knows? But the issue is that he's always there to help us get through whatever. Yeah. So then I say, okay, well, I don't know how we're going to get through this one, but here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were led and given steps, and things happened that allowed us to be able to pay the mortgage. Because I'll be honest, it's a big fat mortgage,
Yeah.
And so you're like, how do we make that monthly payment and with no income coming in?
Yeah.
But we had to do it, and I honestly now I look back and think, how did we do that?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened? How did we do that?
It's beyond reason that worked out.
It is.
In a way.
Completely, because we were freaking out when we bought, thinking, are we going to be able to, will this place pay for itself? That's all we want.
Yeah.
Just, you can, if we can bring in enough people and do what our mission is, if the place can just sustain itself, great, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, you're right, then be like, what the heck? We got no income, and so I don't really remember the details of how that worked, but I think we had to give it over and say, okay, lead us to where we can keep going forward, because again, it's another thing where the devil's after you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to take it away, trying to say, nope, this place is going to go away again within just a couple of years, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, and I think the devil kind of maybe doesn't make COVID happen, but feeds into your mindset of doubt and questioning, and then it's like a sore, it's like a wound. It just picks at that, opens it up more, opens it, and tries to get in there that way.
Right. I think the other thing that's pretty good or cool is that you can also have the Holy Spirit get in you all the time, and that's one of those things where I have always this sense of I don't look back.
Yeah.
We're going forward.
Yeah.
You know, and no regrets.
Yep.
You know, like, hey, we're doing this for what he wants us to do, for his goodness, for his glory. And if we just keep moving forward and we do the best we can with each decision we make, the next one, that's the best we can do. That's what I think he wants from us.
Yeah.
That's what we keep trying to do at camp. That's what I keep trying to do as the director, being like, let's just make the next good decision.
Yeah.
You know, the best one